Tourism stakeholders and hoteliers have begun to see a significant increase in their bookings with the advent of the high season. From now and for the next 3 months, tourism activity is expected to be busier than it was, at least over the past year. With both overnight and cruise tourism seeing additional calls to our points of entry, Belize is poised to once again draw a significantly higher amount of tourists to our shores, well before the previous projection for this to happen.
If you can recall, Marion, when the pandemic first hit in March, April of 2020, the predictions at that time as to when the global tourism industry would start to return to its 2019 pre-pandemic levels, people were saying things like the majority of the opinion was that we would not see a recovery until sometime in 2023. I think certainly in the Caribbean and more so for Belize, it looks like the coming high season should be, if not back to 2019 levels, it should be very close to 2019 levels.
President of the Belize Tourism Industry Association, Stuart Crone, told News 5 that while the visitor traffic and occupancy might be high, the actual revenues derived from those might not be as good because of all the discounts and specials that have been offered to attract people back. And while that may be the case, CEO in the Ministry of Tourism, Nicole Solano, says there is the continuous effort to push Belize's tourism product in new markets.
We expect that we will be able to handle additional travelers during the high season, and the hotels and tour operators are already indicating that they are seeing an increase in the number of bookings. So we do expect to have a very good high season. We're being very optimistic. This is assuming that we don't have any additional outbreak or there's no surprises with regard to COVID. If things continue in the vein and that they are, and if the numbers continue to be reduced and we don't see any additional variants appear or any surprises, then we expect that by next year we would be able to see quite a significant return to pre-pandemic levels.
While Belizeans strive to ensure visitors' safety and protection from COVID, Solano says that the industry also needs to make Belize a safe haven for visitors.
Thankfully, Marion, in the tourism industry, there is not a prevalence of crime against tourists. It is something that is a priority for us in the tourism industry, and we have very close collaboration with the tourism police unit to ensure that officers are on the ground, especially in the high season when you have an increasing number of tourists in country. So there is going to be an increase in the number of officers deployed to the areas within the country that have the highest concentration of tourists.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.